Yes, yes. So yesterday we were discussing about components of atmosphere. So now structure of atmosphere. See, for every layer some properties are there. You should know those properties. First is troposphere. In troposphere, with increase in height, temperature decreases. There are reasons for this, and that was given in prelims. Okay, so in troposphere, with increase in height, temperature decreases. What is the reason for this particular thing? Convection is because of this. If this is there, convection will be there. But why this is there is the prelims question also. Okay, so why it is there? More density closer to the earth. Can we say as we keep moving above, density of air keeps on reducing? Why more density closer to the earth? Because through gravitational force, earth has held the air. Okay, earth has held the air through gravitational force. That is the reason. What is the second point? Yesterday I told you, sun is the major source of heat for earth. Earth is the major source of heat for atmosphere. You recollect 14% from the sun, 34% from the earth. So this was asked in the options. Earth is major source of heat, especially in troposphere. Next, guys, 90% of water vapor is in lower atmosphere. And you recollect, water vapor absorbs sun's rays also, earth's rays also. Okay, these 3 points are very, very important. After this, as you said, troposphere is the layer where convection is present. NCERT says troposphere is the only layer where convection is there. Okay, so only is very rare. So if they give you that, it is right. Mesosphere has less convection, we say, but troposphere has more convection. Now this line is important. Convection occurs. The moment convection will be there, there will be precipitation, there will be atmospheric circulation. If we see composition, guys, 90% of gases are in troposphere, 99% of dust particles and 99% of water vapor is within troposphere. This property is also important. Okay, so when we say troposphere, 90% of atmospheric gases, 99% of dust particles and 99% of water vapor is there. Next, this Hadley cell, Ferrel cell, polar cell, right? Hadley cell, Ferrel cell, polar cell. Now, zero to 30 is hot. As land is hot, air above will be hot, right? Hot air expands. Hot air expands. 60 to 90 is cold. If land is cold, air will compress, right? Cold air compresses, hot air expands. Now you say, the height of troposphere is not uniform. It is increasing from where to where? Poles to equator. The height increases from poles to equator. What is the height near poles? 8, 13, 18. Okay. Average height of troposphere is 13 kilometers. Okay. This is first point. You see, in prelims they'll ask you, troposphere height is uniform. No. Troposphere height changes from where to where? Poles to equator. What is the reason? Statement 1, statement 2. Remember, with pattern we should be learning the exam. Okay, what is the reason? Yes? Compression, expansion. But the point is, why is it compressing and why is it expanding? Here. See here until. Yes. It is, troposphere is under the influence of Earth's surface temperature. Correct? So if Earth's surface temperature is hot, it is expanding. If it is cold, it is compressing. Statement 1 is what? There is change of height. Statement 2 is what? It is under the influence of, they will give you adiabatic heating, adiabatic cooling, expansion, all this. No. Main reason is what? Earth is the major source of heat. Okay. And troposphere is completely under the influence of Earth. Okay. Then see here. This is another line. Everyone, A will be 30 degrees Celsius, C will be minus 5 degrees Celsius. Okay. So obviously, equator is hot compared to poles. There is no doubt, right? But you see here, minus 45 degrees Celsius, minus 65 degrees Celsius. Why? Can we say here air expanded? Height is more, expansion is more. Expansion is more, cooling is more. Here can we say air compressed? If air compresses, temperature increases, right? So write 2 lines below about troposphere. I'll give a line, just check it is right or wrong. Okay. The height of troposphere, right? The height of troposphere increases from poles to equator. Poles to equator. See, this point they may change into equator to poles. You should be careful. Okay. Full stop. The height changes with latitudes, changes with latitudes and seasons. Now you think, is that line correct? Latitude is fine. What about seasons? You tell me summer season, will land be hot? If land is hot, will everything expand? Winter season, can we say everything compresses? That means height of troposphere changes with latitudes and seasons. Next, you write surface temperature within troposphere is different from upper air temperature. Full stop. Equator is hotter compared to poles near the surface, but underline this, poles are hotter compared to equator in upper troposphere. Fine. Okay. Shall I move? Guys, whatever you saw with troposphere, the same aspect will be there with tropopause. But what is pause here? What is pause? Temperature will be paused. Okay, tropopause, stratopause, mesopause. Temperature between troposphere and stratosphere will be uniform. Okay, temperature variation doesn't occur. That is the reason we call it as pause. Okay, so next one is about stratosphere. Very important, guys. Already asked questions with increase in height. What will happen? Temperature increases. Cold will be below, warm will be above. Alternative, try to remember. Okay, troposphere is different from stratosphere. Stratosphere is different from mesosphere. Alternative, you should recollect. Okay, so when you have like this, can we say there is no vertical movement? This was asked in the exam. Okay, there is no vertical movement in stratosphere. Then what is another point? You have lot of ozone in this layer, so it is ozonosphere. Ozone absorbs UVB. Sulfur dioxide layer is there in stratosphere called as Bungay layer. Okay, sulfur dioxide layer is known as Bungay layer. Yesterday I told you sulfur dioxide reflects sun's rays, so it will cool the earth. Okay, then very less clouds. Okay, ozone depletion, when we study that there are ammonia clouds in stratosphere. Water vapor clouds are very, very limited. Ammonia clouds are there in stratosphere. As you have less clouds, you see this was statement 1, and as you have less clouds, because of this, like aircraft movement is good in this layer. Why do you have aircraft movement in stratosphere was the question. Okay, so they gave no vertical movement, one option, no clouds. Okay, no clouds is wrong, less clouds. Okay, so this was asked with respect to stratosphere. Now, what is the height of stratosphere? That you should remember, One is it is still 50 kilometers and temperature at stratopause is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now the stratosphere is under the influence of sun. Why? Ozone is there. Ozone absorbs UV. So sun is the major source of heat for stratosphere. Earth is the major source of heat for troposphere. Okay. So mesosphere, guys, mesosphere mostly has oxygen and nitrogen. And if you recollect, oxygen and nitrogen doesn't absorb sun's rays also. They doesn't absorb earth's rays also. They are not under influence of sun or earth. Because of this, it is becoming hotter or cooler due to adiabatic expansion and compression. In this layer, temperature will be minus 80 degrees Celsius. So we say it is coldest layer of atmosphere. Okay. Guys, 3 times in prelims they have asked this question. See guys, atmosphere, outer space. A rock which is floating in the outer space is called as meteoroid. The moment it enters into atmosphere, meteor, if it hits the ground, meteoroid. Okay, outside the earth it is called meteoroid. When it enters into atmosphere it is called meteor. When it hits the earth it is called meteoroid. Okay, now in between Mars and Jupiter, some rocks will be there. Asteroid. Irregular shaped rocks floating in between Mars and Jupiter, inner planets and outer planets, terrestrial planets and gaseous planets are called as asteroids. Okay, irregular shaped rocks floating in the solar system is called as meteoroids. Okay, here I want you to know size of asteroids are bigger, meteoroids are smaller. Okay, they follow definite path, they do not follow definite path, right? Because they flow in a specific path in the solar system, they do not. 3 times they have asked differences between asteroids and meteoroids. Fine. So this is coldest layer of the atmosphere, and in this layer meteor burning will start. So guys, please understand, in the coldest layer burning is occurring not because of outside temperature but because of friction. Particles, when they have friction with meteors, it leads to, like, burning. You get the terms? See, when it comes to chapters like atmospheric circulation and all, questions will be less. Initial chapters questions are more, especially basics. Okay. See, in between Mars and Jupiter, we have irregular shaped rocks floating along the solar system. Like Earth, it is also moving. That is called as asteroid. It is in between Mars or Jupiter, or inner planets and outer planets, terrestrial planets and Jovian planets. Okay. Meteoroid is floating in the solar system, right? So it is not present in a particular path. It can be anywhere. Now, when it is coming closer to Earth, okay, outside the Earth, it is called meteoroid. When it enters into Earth's atmosphere, it is called meteor. The moment it hits the Earth, it is called meteoroid. Okay. So these are the three. Fine. Now, what is the last layer? Thermosphere. If you recollect, thermosphere is similar to what we call as heterosphere with height composition changes. Thermosphere is divided into two layers. One is called ionosphere. Guys, in ionosphere, ions will be there. These ions will have charges, and these charges helps in radio communication. Fine, they help in radio communication. Low Earth orbit satellites. You might have heard Gaganyaan, India is launching. That is also for ionosphere only. Right? Satellites are launched from this particular thing. The outermost layer is called as exosphere. Okay, is here. In this layer, temperature increases with height, and temperature is due to collision. Okay, as particles collide, there will be, like, temperature. Okay, so now this is atmosphere. Next topic, temperature. Guys, highest temperature is at, I told you yesterday, 20 degree north. This latitude is important. 20 degree north. Not equator. Why? Clouds. Not equator. Because of clouds. We use the term diurnal range. Diurnal range means daily range. More in continental climate. Daily range of temperature is more in continental climate. Why? Continental climate means it will be dry air. Okay, and less in marine climate. That means closer to oceans. Why? Because it has moisture.